Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Mindful Wellness with Tony. Today, the first episode here, I want to talk about some foundation items that I've come across in studies. For example, mental health and behavior and stress tends to be a basic foundation of overall wellness and overall health. Mental health I feel, is a term that gets thrown around quite a bit and oftentimes overused. But to put things into a bit of perspective, the World Health Organization does define mental health as that state of well being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities and can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. End quote. So yeah, it's a very umbrella term, mental health, which it can involve both good and bad states of mentalities and everything. But I think it gets confused oftentimes with emotional health, which is quite different in a way. It's its own thing. It's basically the ability to regulate, to modulate, and to adapt and recognize and express the full spectrum of human emotion. With proper emotional health, you're able to appropriately express any emotion that you feel in whatever space you have or space that's available. But I found one of the main, curiously, and probably not shocking, a big foundation of health and wellness, overall health and wellness, is stress. Stress is huge, and everybody feels stress. So and stress and anxiety can go hand in hand, obviously. In fact, I took an entire class on stress management, oddly enough, and a little bit of puns about stressful classes and that. But I learned quite a bit of things about stress management techniques, coping with stress, and but especially how many chronic diseases can be linked to stress, whether it's cardiac disease, of course, other mental health diseases like anxiety, depression, and that list can go on a little bit more. But it's all a part of behavior. Two basic things I wanted to bring up as well with behavior, like human behavior. Human behavior is a very fascinating thing, I think. There's the whole nature-nurture thing. There's what contributes to our overall behavior. Behavior is our thoughts, our actions, our attitudes towards ourselves, our friends, our community. One individual that I've studied, John Watson, who's considered one of the fathers of behavioral science, he defined behavioralism as an objective and measurable study of our human interactions and the relationship of that to our environment. So there's that very scientific approach of looking at what's measurable, what can we see, what's observable, and what contributes to all that. One of his, I suppose, students, who also branched out and furthered the study, was B.F. Skinner, also another very famous name when it comes to behavioralism. Broke it down more basically to say that we're all a product of our environment. And that's a very broad statement if you look at it. We don't have to be tied to what our childhood was or what our teenage years were. We don't need to be defined by any of that. We can be a constant evolution, a constant growth of character. But yeah, the biggest thing takeaway today is keeping an eye on our stress. stress management, and I'm sure I'm going to touch on that especially more in future episodes. But for this moment, I wanted to just take a moment to just introduce myself a little bit and my feelings on behavioralism, what my studies have shown with behavioral, mental health, emotional health. Again, I will see you guys later, and hope to see more of this in the coming future.